What's up, everybody? Welcome to Moose Milk Podcast, episode 34. 34. I'm your host, Ryan. I'm just going to wait for Garth to join us. And by Garth, I mean our good friend, Matthew. But he's legally changing his name to Garth, as we've established. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm sorry I'm pouring myself a glass of whiskey. Because why not? It's Friday night. What else are you going to do? Yeah, so tonight we are going to talk What If, episode 3, and the Spiderman trailer, and whatever else we feel like. Whatever other shenanigans we feel like doing. Could be anything. Who knows what will happen. Life's a mystery. My dog's already barking. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. Of course, there will be spoilers if you haven't watched episode 3 yet. Just be warned. We will spoil parts of that episode. And here's Matt. Come on, Garth. There he is.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
You know, fucking living it, man.
What's that?
I said just living it.
Just living it, yeah. Well,
How
it's better than the alternative.
That's a good point.
Yeah. How's things?
Yeah, all
Anything
right.
good? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy. Seems to be the common theme these days. Just busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Danny World saying hi in the chat. What's up, man?
Hello. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. My toy collection is cool. I agree.
I'd agree. Yeah. Very cool.
I have to do another shelf tonight because I always post my pictures of my collections on Sundays.
Right.
And I'm down to the last 2. So it's like, and like both of them need work. So it's like, I have to, I don't like to repost the same setup, you know? So it's like I have stuff that needs to go in, but like the 2 shelves I have to do is my MCU Hero shelf, which is like, I need a full, like, redo, basically. I have to take it all down. And then my prequel, sequel Star Wars trilogy shelf. So like, I want to make the Bad Batch more prominent. Right now they're like in the back. So
Right.
Hey Pop Iconic, just hit me with a private message and I can give you all the deets. It's a lot to go through on this, and we don't.
Did those shelves like come with lighting, or did you install all the lighting?
Nah, it's Billy. So they're Billy bookcases from IKEA. So they're like literally the most basic bitch like bookcase you can get from IKEA.
Yeah.
But then like I swapped out like my shelves. They are wooden shelves normally. I swapped them out for glass, so it helps the light travel. And then like I got like custom made LEDs done for my case. They cost me like $800.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, just for lights, yeah.
You're a fancy girl.
But it sucks because I wish I would have placed them differently. I placed them in the middle and they should have been on the front.
Yeah,
so when I do my shelf, I'm doing a big kind of change in the fall, or maybe probably not the fall, probably like going into Christmas time.
Sure.
So I think when I do that, I'm going to pull all them off and reposition them at the front of the shelf so that I can get better lighting. So
I bought like I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's like an LED strip light thing for your TV, but it has like a camera mount, so it actually watches the TV through the camera and uses the colors on the TV to like cast out from the TV on the LEDs.
Yeah, and
I haven't installed it yet.
It kind of makes like the image bleed out, right? So it's like
it's like an ambient.
Yeah, Mike has it. Mike has that too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna install that soon because I've been playing a lot of video games, and I think like in the dark it would look fucking sick with all the
cool
casting lights and shit.
Yeah, it does look cool. When we used to hang out at Mike's place, he had it, and it was like, yeah, it's very cool.
Dope. So, but what else you been doing? What else you been watching?
This week I got into a few things. I've been watching season 9 and 10 of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so that's been pretty fucking funny.
You're into my favorite seasons, man. Like I think 9, 10, and 11, or 10, 11, and 12 are like 3 of my favorite seasons of the show.
Well, 9 was pretty good, so yeah, it's pretty funny. So yeah, I've been watching that. I finished up season 7 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think I alluded to last week, so I finally finished that up.
I don't know what the last season of that I watched. I don't know if it was what season is airing right now.
I think season 8 is airing right now.
maybe 6 is the last season. I don't know.
So season 7, like Santiago and Andy Samberg's character and Peralta have a baby.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I haven't seen that season.
Yeah. So, but it happens kind of like right near the end. So it's kind of like, yeah. But it's good. It's pretty funny. But like Gina's not in it anymore, and like.
Oh really?
Yeah, she leaves. I think she leaves in season 6. I want to say
I didn't finish season 6. Though.
I think she leaves at the beginning of season 6 or something, and then like comes back near the end and then leaves again. So.
Yeah, I'm way behind. I love the show, but I think it like when it switched from Fox to NBC or whatever the hell it was, I think I kind of fell off it then, and then yeah.
I just kind of fell off it because it just wasn't really appealing to me at the time. But the thing is with them is like when I start watching it is like I immediately get sucked back into it. I'm just like, oh fuck, I forgot how funny this show is.
Andy Samberg is like
so
I think
funny.
I said this last week, but he's like one of my favorite humans alive.
Yeah,
like I think
he's so funny,
endlessly funny. I would love if he like guest starred on Always Sunny for like a character or something. Like I think
that'd be funny.
It'd fit perfectly, like their type of humor. And
and then I also watched this. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's a Hulu show. It's called 9 Perfect Strangers.
Oh, I got an email about that it was on there, but I didn't watch it.
It's pretty good, but it's only 4 episodes so far, and like I don't know. I'm assuming like there's more coming. I would guess like if that's kind of where it leaves off. So it's like it's pretty intriguing, but there hasn't been anything that's been really like whoa, like
is it
yet.
Like what type of show? I don't even know anything about it really, without spoiling it.
I won't spoil it. So basically, it's like this place. It's kind of like I don't want to say a detox spa. It's kind of like this like getaway place that's like in the middle of nowhere where like you have to like give up your phone and you essentially it's like it's I think it's meant to be like a detox.
Yep.
Where all these different people meet and you kind of like discover their stories and kind of like why they're there and like.
Is it like real people or actors?
No, it's actors. Like
okay. I didn't know if it was like reality.
Melissa McCarthy's in it. That guy who plays. Fuck, I can't remember his name, and I can't even think of what else he's in right now. The thing I know him the best from is from the movie The Goods. Have you ever seen The Goods?
Yeah, I love The Goods.
Yeah,
you're the one that showed me The Goods, I think.
I think I did, yeah. So it's the guy who plays like the kid that's in the adult body. It's that guy, the big tall guy.
Yep.
So he's in it, and like it's just I don't know, it's really interesting. It's like one is like a family, like two, like a father or like a father, a mother, and like a daughter, and they're all there together. One is like Melissa McCarthy's character is like a writer. But yeah, it's interesting. Like it's just it's kind of slower moving. And what's her name is in it? Nicole Kidman. Yeah, I think Nicole Kidman. She kind of plays like the head person at this like retreat or whatever.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it was interesting enough. I kind of wished more was kind of happening, but like,
is it like weekly or is it?
I don't think it's weekly. I don't think it's weekly.
So they just dump like 4 episodes and that's the end?
Yeah, I think so. I do think it's relatively new though, but
yeah, it just came out like last week, I think.
Okay, so maybe they're gonna give us more soon. I don't know, but there's only 4 right now, so
Yeah, well, like Prime does do weird things where like they do like 3 or 4 episode dumps, and then like the next week they do like the next 3 or 4 episodes. So there may be more. Like
I hope so.
I can't remember what show. Maybe The Boys I think did that where they did like 3 episodes at a time.
I think maybe near the beginning they did. Yeah, I think maybe they started with 3 and then they went to weekly. Maybe that's what we'll get with this.
Yeah. I don't remember. I think it was The Boys, maybe. I don't know. I love The Boys. I can't wait for The Boys to come back.
Me too. That'd be great.
Yeah, that show's fucking awesome.
So, and then I watched What If, obviously, and
sure.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it.
So, I finished, speaking of Always Sunny, I mean, you got me back in Always Sunny because you were talking about it, and I was like, I gotta watch a bunch of episodes now, but I finished Mystic Quest.
Oh, nice.
The Apple Plus show. It's only 2 seasons. It's really funny. Really, really good. I highly recommend it for especially people that love Always Sunny. It's
similar.
It's similar in tone and comedy. Like it's not as like brutal and like, adult and fucked up as that show is. But obviously what's his face? I can't Mac. I can't think of the actor's name right now, but Mac's like the lead character in it, and he's like very Mac-like. Like if you like Mac, you're gonna like this character. Same same type of comedy, just a little, toned down for, I mean, they do say some fucked up things in it, but it's nowhere near as brutal as Always Sunny.
Yeah, of course.
But, yeah, I highly recommend that show. I hope it gets a third season because it's really funny. But, then, still watching Supergirl. I'm into season 5, which is the last season on Netflix. So I should be able to finish it by the end of August, which
nice.
Shocking that I actually did it, but
that's crazy, man. How are you liking it? How's Dreamer and
Dreamer's cool, man. Like it's a weird character. At first I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but like I really like just her as an actress, and like she does a great job. She's really likable, and Brainiac is like really, really funny, and they kind of are like an item, light right? Spoilers for season 5, but they're like a couple in season 5. So it's like they're just super cute together, and like totally likable. So I really like it. I think it's a fun show, and like I said, there's dud episodes here and there, but overall I think it's a really solid show. So
nice. That's cool to see that it comes around that much towards like as you get closer to the end of it.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like, and I'm not trying to be offending of any other show, but like The Flash and Arrow, I felt really like after like season 2 or 3 really kind of hit a cliff where it was like, oh, this is kind of too samey. It's just a villain of the week, and I feel Supergirl really changes it up, and in season to season it has very different tones and tackles different topics and stuff. So I dig it in that regard, and I should mention like the crossover episodes I completely skipped.
Just because you didn't want to be confused by...
Well, I don't want to watch 5 episodes of like other shows, and like I read the synopsis of like, oh, let's see if anything like important happens during this like story arc, and they seem pretty like standalone, where like there's a massive story arc going on between the shows, but like it doesn't seem to really affect anything past that episode. So sure. I read the synopsis and I kind of just skipped those episodes, so I didn't have to watch. And like Arrow's not on Netflix, so like I'm gonna have to search it out. The Flash is on Netflix, but then there was like I can't remember what the other show is.
Legends of Tomorrow or
Legends of Tomorrow. That's not on Netflix, so I'm like, I'm not gonna like try to hunt these shows down, and it's too much work. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying it, and then obviously all my reality shows I'm still watching, and I still recommend. Nothing's going to change there. I'm a reality show junkie. So
The Block, Survivor Australia, and
The Challenge. And Hard Knocks. I mean, it's a football reality show, but it's just following football team. It's following the Dallas Cowboys around, which is interesting because football's starting for me. I'm a huge football fan. I can't wait for I'm a Houston Texans fan, so. Stoked for football to start, but that's it. Pretty much it.
I've been also painting the last few days. I got a good session in yesterday on this angel figure I'm working on. I still got to fix the lines.
I saw the wings. The wings look fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love the wings. They're currently covered with paint or with tape, but
it looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, I like them a lot. I can't wait to I put my airbrush away prematurely. I wanted to put some white on the edges, but I forgot to. So I have to do it later. Yeah, no. I'm working on this U.S. agent as well, which I think looks pretty sweet so far.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh, that's really cool.
I have to still fix the white. I did a little too much bleed on this. Actually, on the front too, but yeah. But I think I'm gonna work on a shelf tonight instead. I know I really should get these done, but
did you
miss a Sunday post? So
yeah, for sure. This is kind of off topic, but on topic. Mark Hoppus has been streaming on Twitch, like playing video games and shit on Twitch.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've noticed this.
No, I've been watching there's a YouTube channel that cakes all the Twitches and like you can watch them or whatever. So they put all the he's been playing like Blink albums, like a bunch of different Blink albums. Yeah.
But he's also been doing like he was doing a full crossword puzzle on stream. And like I think it's just helping with like his memory and stuff like that, and like keeping him like alert and everything like that. But he's been playing like a few video games here and there, and then he was doing like watch alongs for movies and stuff. But if you like do need to like get in touch with him, that might be a route to go.
An
It's
avenue?
just like interacting with him on Twitch because
I'm pretty sure I have a Twitch account too, because I was kind of doing Twitch very little bits for a while there. So
you might have to sub to his channel, but he does like seem to like read the comments and stuff, and so you might be able to say hey.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
That's a good call.
I saw it when I saw it pop up, and I was like, oh, let's check this out. And I watched him do an entire crossword puzzle just because I was, I don't know, I was intrigued. I was like, I don't know, he's really smart, man. He was pulling answers, and I was like, oh, dude, I wouldn't have got that in a million years.
I like Mark Hoppus.
Oh, he's funny, man.
I was watching the one where he was playing a bunch of Enema of the State songs, and before he started to, he like restrung his bass and was just kind of talking to people, and yeah, it was pretty. He was pretty funny. He says some funny stuff, obviously.
Yeah, man, he's witty as fuck, man. He just pulls things out of nowhere, and I'm just like, oh man, you're a clever motherfucker.
Sure is. I get to start working on that pretty soon. Once these two are finished, that's my priority. So that'll be
that's awesome. I can't wait to see the finished product.
Taking shape pretty quick here. So
that's dope.
Probably by the end of probably by next weekend, I'll be working on them.
Cool. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Me neither.
I also I want to recommend highly. I know I texted you this privately, but the new Killers album is fucking phenomenal. It's called Pressure Machine. It's, I think, probably their best album. Maybe second at Sam's Town. It's right up there for me with Sam's Town. But I was a huge Killers fan back in like the early 2000s or whatever with Hot Fuss and Sam's Town. But I really fell off the band after Sam's Town. I haven't really liked anything they've put out since then. And Pressure Machine is like probably going to be my album of the year. I've listened to it every day for like 10 days straight. Like I can't stop listening to it. It's so good.
That's great. So, it's always good when you get an album that like catches you like that heavily.
Yeah. It's different.
I fell off Bleachers like super fast. There's like a few songs that I'm like pretty into, but like the rest of it.
Those first 4 or 5 tracks on the album I think are like really, really good, but I think the rest of the album is kind of less so.
Yeah.
I've gone back and listened
comparing them to the old stuff because when I started listening to that, it made me want to go back and listen to the other 2 albums, and I'm just like, man, these are way better. Like they're way better.
See, I don't think the second album's as good.
Yeah, I remember you not liking that one. I like that one. I don't like it as much as the first one, but I still like it.
Yeah, I don't know. The first 4 or 5 tracks on that new Bleachers album, I think, are like
really good.
Some of the best songs they've ever written. But I think the second half's a lot weaker than the first album in general, so it's kind of like a toss-up. But
yeah,
those would be my 2 album of the years. Like right now, it's the Killers and Bleachers album. Like I've listened to those albums 10, 15 times in the last month. So
crazy. Because I don't really listen to a lot of new music these days. So
no, I know. That's why I keep trying to put you in directions.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of Blink still. Like that's still going on.
I listened to Enema and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket like, I don't know, last week or the week before.
Nice.
And
both have been spinning very regularly for me.
Yeah. After I think I listened to Self-Titled I think too, but after that, like I'm just not really into anything after Self-Titled. Like Neighborhoods is fine. There's a few tracks I like on it, but I don't know. I really fell off them. It's sad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pretty drastic shift in sound, really, after Self-Titled.
Yeah.
I mean, Neighborhoods is a pretty not great album, really. Like
it just feels like a Tom album. It doesn't feel
feels like Angels and Airwaves light. It's like
yes, very.
Yeah.
I would really love like a new Plus 44 album, and I know that's probably never going to happen. But I would love 44 too. I would love if Mark just was like, oh, during quarantine, like I wrote a few, like while I have some downtime, I wrote a few, 10 songs that don't really fit Blink, and I'm going to make this the second, Plus 44 album. I'd be totally into that.
Yeah, me too. If it sounded like Plus 44, I would.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even if it didn't, like, I think Mark could do like a solo project that's like a different sound that would totally be fine. Like, I'd be interested. I like his writing style. I think he's really good with lyrics and stuff. So,
did you get into Simple Creatures? That's
a little bit.
Yeah, same here. It fizzled for me pretty quick. Like
same.
I liked
think some of the songs are catchy, but
and then it just never really stuck. Like by like week 3, I think I was listening to maybe like one song. So,
yeah, it just didn't hook me.
Yeah,
I liked it at first, but it just didn't get its hooks to me.
Which is weird because I really like. Is it Alex from All Time Low, the guy who we did it with?
Yeah.
So
I'm not a big All Time Low fan, but
they write some catchy ass shit. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't we've talked about before. Like, I wish just Mark would produce more albums and get out there. Like, obviously, right now he's going through hell. So once he's healthy and good to go, then like I hope he goes back out there and starts producing more albums and stuff like that. Because
me too.
If Motion City makes a new album, like 1,000% it should be produced by Mark Hoppus.
That'd be awesome. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, it'd be great.
But we'll see where he's at. You never know, right? Like,
no, of course.
He might not be. He might not be.
He needs to take the time he needs to take to be healthy and get his head right and spend time with his family and friends. And when he's ready to bounce back,
get back.
Boom.
Yep, I agree.
Family and friends are more important than putting anything musically out. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we had a lot of shit to happen. Oh, I'm gonna go see Shang-Chi on next Thursday.
Right. We should talk about that.
We should talk about that.
So I can't see it Friday because it's my dad's birthday. So I'm probably gonna see it that weekend or sometime. I'm on vacation that week, so sometime during that week I will go see it. So we're not gonna talk. Well, you can give your thoughts on it or whatever. Like, I don't care.
I'll just basically spoil it in 15 seconds.
I want a minute by minute recap for the entire length of the podcast.
Imagine how my big ass would remember that. So,
that's what I was going to say. Even if you wanted to spoil it, you don't remember the movie 10 minutes after it comes out to be able to spoil it. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So not next Friday, the following Friday, which would be the 10th. We will do a spoiler discussion on Shang-Chi. And give our impressions, give our spoiler thoughts, whatever. But next week, Matt can give his thoughts, but I won't have seen it yet. So
it's getting very good first reactions.
Yeah, it is.
I think I read one that said top shelf Marvel or something like that. Or
top shelf MCU or
top shelf MCU. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score, and for a while it was like 92% or something like that, and I think it dropped a little bit, but that's awesome. Like, that's great.
Yeah, man, that's so good to hear. So I'm super. I mean, to be honest, they've done a really good job at maybe not promoting it so much, but like they're selling you with the trailers, right?
Yep.
Whereas,
my only concern is Ontario's numbers are skyrocketing COVID-wise. Like, Windsor has the biggest numbers in Ontario right now, so. I'm really hoping that things don't get shut down again, but we'll see.
I think I told you they're doing passport here, right? They're doing vaccine passports here.
Yeah, I wish they were doing that here.
It's the only way. It's the only way we're going to get through this. I hate to say it, but...
Yeah, well, Windsor's becoming very scary politically, so I don't agree with a lot that people are doing. I don't agree with a lot of thought and stuff going on in Windsor right now, and I'll just say it's going very conservative, and I'm not a fan.
Time to move to Vancouver. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I would love to. If it didn't cost $1 million to own a house out there, I'd be out there. But...
$1 million to own a house? You're dreaming. It's more like...
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
$1 million anyway, for a condo, maybe.
So that's the plan for Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
we should talk about Spider-Man trailer too before we dive into fucking What If.
It was so fucking good. Did you like that trailer?
That trailer is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so good.
And not just phenomenal, but we knew what we were getting, and it gave you enough breadcrumbs to know, like, hey, some of the stuff that leaked is obviously in the movie. We know Dr. Octopus is in the movie. We know Green Goblin's in the movie, whatever. But, like, the fact that they didn't show Tobey Maguire or, what's his face? Andrew Garfield. That, like, I hope that we don't get, like, 6 more trailers that show scenes with them in it. Or, like, I hope that that's kept back, because I think that's going to make the movie more exciting when we go see it.
I feel like they will show it. And the reason why I think they will is because there is a humongous group of people who hate MCU Spider-Man, but love Tobey Maguire or love Andrew Garfield. And I feel like if you just showed that they were in the movie, you would bring in an audience that would normally not go see that in a theater.
So I don't get that side of it because I think Tom Holland's by far the best Spider-Man we've gotten.
He is, but that's subjective. It
is, of course. Everything's subjective.
Bella girl that popped in here earlier, we talk about this all the time because we always talk about action figures, and she's like obsessed with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Has she gone back and watched those movies recently?
Because I can't really say because in fairness, and this is the hardcore diss on her, but it's like. But she also thinks that the old Fantastic Four movies are good too, and Daredevil.
That's what I mean, though. Is like you can be. Look, I love the original Batman movies. Like even Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I have like a nostalgic place for those movies. Those movies are terrible. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Batman Forever is fine. I love Jim Carrey, so that movie's always going to hold a special place for me. But like Batman and Robin is a terrible fucking film.
So bad.
But it's nostalgic for me because I was in my teens-ish when I seen it.
Yeah.
You were go back and watch those Spider-Man movies because they're not great. Like
I agree.
My friend Brian
I recently did, and but don't get me wrong, like it's the same thing you're saying. Is like there is some charm for sure because
there's
it's
charm,
like nostalgic as fuck, but yeah.
Like my friend Brian's going back and rewatching every Spider-Man movie right now because the trailer got him all hyped up. And he's like, I haven't seen the original trilogy in a long time. I'm going to go back and watch all these movies. So he's been messaging me throughout the week of like, he watched the first 3 and he's like, man, Spider-Man 3 is abysmal. Like it's bad.
So bad.
And I'm like, yeah, it's these movies were good in their time. But now that we've gotten like Endgame and Civil War and all these movies, like they're not that great. Like they're not anything amazing. And Amazing Spider-Man, the first one was okay. The second one was awful.
Yeah, I agree. I actually didn't mind the first one. But see, my biggest thing with Andrew Garfield is to me, that is literally the opposite of what Peter Parker is. So 100%.
It's like he's a good Spider-Man. He's a terrible Peter Parker.
Yeah. He's just, I have a hard time buying him as Peter Parker because like, 100%. It's just, I don't, I just like.
He doesn't have that like nerdy, quippy, awkward. Yeah.
He just looks too cool. Like, I just want to go and kiss him. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, my focus is on Emma Stone during those movies because I'm in love with her. But
I'm in love with
those
Andrew
movies
Garfield's
aren't great
hair because his hair
What's
is
that?
good. I'm in love with Andrew Garfield's hair.
Yeah, I don't know. I get people like are nostalgic for those early 2000s movies or whatever, but they're not great. And I think if you go back and watch them, you're going to be like, you should be pretty thankful for what we have now with Tom Holland. My biggest problem with the Tom Holland movies is like I hate that he's basically Spider-Man, like
I know that's a big point for a lot of non-MCUers as well.
Yeah, like I like the suit. I think it looks cool, but like he basically is an Iron Man duplicate. Like I would love if he did a little bit more Spider-Man-esque stuff rather than like Iron Man suit, fucking spider legs, like he has every ability ever. Is like a little more grounded and down to earth Spider-Man. I think that would be a lot of good.
I actually wonder if we're gonna see more of that just because
Houston Texans. Woo! Yeah, Crocus Wolf. That's what I'm talking about, son. You're the only Texans fan I know now, so way to go. There's none of us. There's only like 3 of us in the world.
That's great.
Continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. But I think that like, like for me, I think Tom Holland is probably like the most accurate to what I want out of a Peter Parker anyway.
Totally.
Right? But like in terms of like the Tony thing, like I do think we'll get away from that because now that Tony's not here, I feel like there's gonna be a need for them to kind of step away from that, right? And like,
well, I think this is the opportunity to reboot it in a way that makes him a little more grounded.
I do too. But I do think it's funny that they kind of start that journey by having him kind of basically they kind of like set it up like he like ruins the spell, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yes,
it's kind of like his fault, and I just kind of love that it's like him always fucking up and like causing problems, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, that was my biggest problem with the trailer. It was like Doctor Strange just did all this endgame stuff, cast all these spells, like did all this stuff, and then he messes up this like reset spell, like he had no idea what he was fucking with.
I honestly don't think we should be taking the trailer serious, because I
No,
honestly
and
don't
that
think
was
any of this
that was
is
my
how
point.
this plays out.
Was like the trailer makes it look like he fucked up, and like I think that they're trying to mislead us with the trailer of what exactly goes on.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't even surprise me if, because they're notorious for this, is like scenes in that trailer are not even in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was the scene that bothered me in the trailer, where I was like, all right, that's a little far-fetched. Like, why would Doctor Strange do this unless he knew what the outcome was and it benefited everything in the end game? That type of thing. Like, I could see that being it too, is like he knew that the worlds had to collide to be able to reset the universe, and this is where it had to head so that X could happen. And you know, like everybody's saying that Galactus is in the Eternals trailer, the last Eternals trailer there.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, everybody's saying there's a scene, there's a clip, whatever, a cell in the trailer that shows like basically what everybody's assuming is Galactus.
Interesting.
And so they think that's setting it up farther down the line. But my take on the Spider-Man trailer was like, if they're doing all this multiverse stuff and Doctor Strange is purposely fucking it up, maybe it's to get them to the point where they have mutants in this world so that eventually they can fight Galactus and so on and so forth, you know?
Yeah, I my kind of thought on Doctor Strange was I questioned if that was actually our Doctor Strange or if that's like a variant Doctor Strange, maybe.
Could be that too.
I also really liked that he had that all black costume at one point and also lost the cape, because there's in the comics he loses the cape and has like an all black costume, and I was just like,
I mean, my skeptical side, or my whatever, is like, they're doing this so that they can sell more toys. They're doing this so they can sell, you know, a bunch of shit. Is like, oh, we need a wardrobe change so we can sell you more shit. But I'm fine with that. Like,
me too. I love toys.
It's the Power Rangers model of every year we need a new line of toys, a new line of fucking action figures, a new Zords, new whatever. Yep. And hey, more power to you.
Yeah, man. I hear you on that one. And I'm on board.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, that trailer's dope. I hope it doesn't get delayed.
I really liked I like how they de-aged Alfred Molina, and I like how he kind of looks more like Doc Ock did in the comics, with like the poofier kind of almost like bowl like kind of look, and like the green turtleneck, and I was just like, I also thought it was interesting that, because did you see all the things they're talking about, like the Sinister Six? So they're saying there's a spot in it where like you can kind of see something kind of creep up behind Peter in a scene, and everyone's saying it's Lizard. Then there's the pumpkin bomb, which we don't see Green Goblin, but obviously, like, you know,
we hear his laugh or whatever.
It's pretty hard to hear from that.
No, my only thought on all that was, well, three questions really. Is, are we getting all the villains that we've been introduced to so far? We know that Jamie Foxx leaked a long time ago that Electro was in it. Yeah. So we're assuming he's somewhere. Are we going to get like Sandman in this?
I think there's a spot where there's a bunch of sand kind of blowing around too. So he's heavily insinuating that that he'll be there, right? So
does Vulture make some kind of comeback?
Could be.
Do we get Venom in this at all?
Yeah, hard to say.
Like,
I mean,
it'd be very interesting if
it would seem like the right place to put Venom.
But then we also, I mean, it would, but we also got the rumor, it hasn't been official yet, that Venom 2 is getting delayed till next year now.
Oh.
Like the 7th delay for the movie because of COVID. So the rumor is it's getting pushed to the date that Morbius is currently sitting on, so that everybody's assuming that then Morbius is also going to get pushed into later into 2022.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And my wonder is, like, would they want to put Venom into Spider-Man if Venom 2 hasn't come out yet? I don't know.
Good point. Yeah, good point. I think the bigger thing for me is like the crossing of those worlds, but that's why I feel like this would be the place to do that. But that being said, we already have 6 villains that we are familiar with from the past. We also have Daredevil coming back. We also might have, Toby and Andrew coming back too, right? So,
that's my concern.
I know that we've had this discussion.
My assumption, and I don't obviously know I haven't read anything. I assume Dr. Octopus is in this movie for all of 7 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I guess it's hard to say because, like, at the end of the day, I feel like it's not going to just be like a quick thing. But honestly, who's to fucking say? Who knows?
I'm going to say there's going to be some kind of like portal system that he's hopping through, or like the villains are hopping through, where you're going to see like fucking something pop up and fucking somebody's going to pop through it onto the bridge, and there's going to be a fight scene on that bridge where he fights Dr. Octopus. And then by some point in that movie, he goes out through the portal, and then fucking another portal opens up, and in comes fucking Sandman, and he's got a fight scene with Sandman. And I don't think you're going to get all these villains together, and I don't think that these villains are going to be in the movie for more than 10 minutes each.
What if he just swings through one portal into the other, and as he passes them by, Dr. Octopus goes, "Hello, Peter."
Exactly. I don't think they're good. Alfred Molina is like 80 years old.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can stretch that out.
He's not going to be doing some crazy fucking action scene. Like, it's all going to be CGI.
He did it 20 years ago. Watch it. He literally does nothing. He just stands there.
I know.
Nothing at all.
He literally tweeted about how, like, he's like, "Oh, my back is so sore. I can't believe I'm back in this stupid suit." And then he's like, "I just had to remember that the spider legs do all the work."
Yeah.
And like
legs,
yeah, or that's what I meant, but you know what I mean, like yeah, I'm sure, but I don't think he's gonna have some like 45-minute scene in the movie. Like, I think it's gonna be hey, remember Dr. Octopus? That's cool.
I definitely think the Sinister Six will be together, and I definitely think they will be the main villain of the movie.
Yeah, I think
there's gonna be.
If I was writing the movie, I would say save Venom for the next movie.
I agree, because you're already gonna go into a Venom, like a Spider-Man 3 from the Raimi trilogy, where he was forced to put Venom in, and it's gonna be just the same, right?
Yeah, like if I was writing the movie, I would say a huge Sinister Six fight. He takes him down, he puts him in prison, whatever the fuck they want to do with the storyline, and then by the end of Venom 2 / Spider-Man 3, they set up that like Venom / Carnage, or Maximum a combination Carnage of the two, is loose, and he has to figure that shit out. And then boom, he swings off to take that down. Basically like the end of Batman Begins, where you see the Joker card and they set up Joker. Like, that's how that movie should end, is like, oh shit, Venom's on the loose.
Yeah.
Peace out. And then that sets up Spider-Man 4, where he's gonna have to, take that whole shit on.
Yeah, for sure. That would be cool. But yeah, I mean, I think the other thing that lends to believing that the Sinister Six will be the main bad guys is like, we're gonna have 3 Spider-Mans potentially, right? So like,
2 each.
Yeah, exactly. And like, for me, I could see it ending where, they finish this off, and, each Spider-Man takes their villains back to their respective multiverse, and that's how it ends, right? So
do you think we will get Gwen Stacy or like any of that in there?
I think Kirsten Dunst was actually seen on set, so I'm pretty sure. Really? Okay. I'm pretty sure she's in it. I don't think I heard anything about Emma Stone though.
Give me Emma Stone every movie.
Imagine they just give her. She's just like this dead body. It's like
don't do that. I don't want that.
Imagine Andrew Garfield dug her up and just like carries her around and stuff. And like it's a giant web sack that he makes.
It's a vampire, and it sets up Morbius.
That'd be funny. Yeah, so I don't know. This trailer made me so excited, and like,
same.
I think that there's definitely a lot of questions to be asked. But again, I keep saying to my friends, I'm like, man, you can't look at this and think you have an idea of what's happening. They're the kings of misdirect. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, especially with their trailers. There's so many things you could go back and watch where they're like, well, that scene's not in the movie at all.
But to me, this was like amazing because like this wasn't a trailer. This was a teaser. It was a 3-minute teaser, and it was amazing.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited. That's what I'm most excited for. I am super excited to go to the movies and see Shang-Chi next week, though, for sure.
So, as of right now, my ranking would be Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and I guess if we're just saying this year, Eternals would be third. I think that last Eternals trailer was pretty good. Like, it made me interested in the movie finally, but it's definitely the movie I'm least excited for.
Me too. I'll see it. I'm going to always see everything, but even the last trailer it was better than the one before it, but
yes.
Yeah.
There hasn't been an MCU movie I've missed in theaters.
Me neither.
I've seen every single one since Iron Man, so.
Except Black Widow.
Right. Except Black Widow, because there was no theaters.
Yeah. Well, we had them, but yeah, I didn't.
I didn't.
Because I don't think I was fully vaccinated by that point, so. I think I was off by a week or something.
I don't know. Time's hard.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is, Ryan. It sure is.
Past my pay grade. I don't know.
You know, it's not hard. Bubbly. Did you see?
Hey, twins.
Oh, hey, did you know? I looked up the flavors that Americans have. They got way better flavors than we do.
I didn't know that bubbly was even available in the States.
Apparently, they have 18 flavors or something. They have mango, lemon, raspberry. They have watermelon. They have just plain bubbles, I think they call it. But there's
plain bubbles.
I know, right?
Let me market this a little bit better for you. You could call that anything better than plain bubbles.
I want grape. I want some grape drink.
I love grape's my favorite flavor.
I also like grape a lot. It's very good.
Grape popsicles, amazing.
Oh, the best. One time I made my father-in-law for his birthday. I made him grape ice cream because he used to get it at this place in Amherstburg.
Yeah.
And all I did was took this really fancy, expensive vanilla ice cream and melted purple popsicles into it.
That's artist right there.
Yeah, that's right. I call that high quality chefing. Hello, children.
It's something definitely. No, I bring them here, man. I haven't tried the pineapple one. We have a pineapple one.
Yeah, pineapple's okay.
And
if you don't like pineapple, which you said you didn't,
grapefruit.
Yeah, I don't like grapefruit though, so I don't.
Either do I.
Grapefruit, and
I don't like pineapple or grapefruit. So
then you won't like pineapple, and I don't really like the orange one either. I'm pretty set on 5. There's 5 flavors that I really cycle through. The 2 main ones I always have are my peach and my lime.
Same. Those are the best 2.
Yeah, but then I know you don't like strawberry, but I don't mind it. I don't mind strawberry. I don't mind blackberry.
Cherry.
Cherry's my last one. So. Yeah.
Well, that was Bubbly Corner.
That was Talking Bubbles with Bubbly Matt and Bubbly Ryan.
Instead of changing your name to Garth, we should be here's our mascot, Bubble Butt Matt.
Customs by Garth. Customs by Matthew Bublé.
So we should probably talk about What If because we're 45 minutes into this episode.
So we haven't spoken about What If this week at all to each other because you haven't been enjoying it.
No, and I put off watching this episode because of how much I hated the first 2.
I messaged him today and said something about, it was after I posted the poster and you're like, I'm just watching it now. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, Wednesday I was like, yeah, that's not happening. I have 0 interest in watching this today. Thursday I was like, I really have to watch this for the podcast. And I was like, nah, that's not going to happen because I fucking hate this show. And so then tonight I was like, I have to watch it because we're recording in 4 hours. And this was the best episode by far.
Yeah.
I don't think it was perfect. It's not great. It's a 7 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10. It's not I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. Yeah, but I was the most entertained in this episode. I like the storyline.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good.
I think it needs more time to breathe.
I think they all kind of do, but I guess I understand they're trying to stick to a certain time limit, so I guess.
But I don't. Why? It's not on network television.
Yeah, it's cost.
But who cares? You're Disney. Like, that's my biggest problem is, like...
I understand that, but they have to keep some level of budgetary... There has to be some level of budget to it, right?
But I look at it as this, right? Like, if you were on television, you're on Fox morning cartoons, and this was your next big fucking Marvel cartoon. I understand. It's like, all right, we have 22 minutes to get this out and 8 minutes of commercials. Boom, here we go. No, you are on the biggest or second biggest streaming platform in the world. You have more money than God. And there is zero reason where this episode couldn't have been 45 minutes, an hour. Like, don't give me budget because I'm sorry, but you're Disney. Like, you have infinite budget.
Yeah, I guess, but
I'm not saying spend $25 million on this. I don't know what animated shows. Yeah, I don't know what episodes cost. I couldn't tell you. I'm not looking at their fucking, books and going, oh, well, we have $600,000 to spend. Here you go. Like, I don't know. What does an episode cost? What did an episode of, Loki cost versus what does an episode of What If cost? I have no idea, but I'm looking at it as, to me, like, this episode needed to be like an hour long and they did it in 28 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree. I would love more, but yeah, if that's what they've decided that we're going to get, then I'm just working with what we get. I quite liked it. I thought it was good. No, not that surprising. I've liked all of these so far. I think each one gets a little bit better. I still actually think I liked episode 2 better than this one, but it was pretty close. I loved the voice actors in this one again. I thought it was really good. I think...
So on that, this is the first episode where probably 60% of the actors didn't come back to reprise their roles. Like, most of the actors in this movie were not the actual actors.
Like who? The only one I can think of that
Black Widow.
Widow and Tony.
Black Widow, Tony.
I guess Thor, too.
Thor and somebody else.
But everybody else was. Like, there was lots of names. Like, Coulson was back. Fury was back. Hawkeye was back. I don't want to ruin the last part yet because we haven't gotten there, but the villain of the thing is back. Who else was back?
Somebody else. Tom Hiddleston was back.
Frank Grillo was back as Crossbones. Well, not Crossbones, but pre-Crossbones, Crossbones.
There was somebody else, though, that wasn't it was one of the main people.
I don't remember.
Was,
Hawkeye,
Hulk?
what? What's that?
Was Hulk?
Yeah, Hulk was Ruffalo, yeah. But what's her name wasn't back to play General Ross's daughter, Betty.
Yeah, I know. And I do want to mention that too, so let's go back to that. But I don't know, there was like 4 maybe of the main cast that wasn't the actual actor.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was pretty good. I was actually pretty surprised. Also, what's her name came back too? Who plays Asgardian chick? Sif.
Yeah, Sif. Lady
Jamie
Sif.
Alexander.
Yeah. So watching this episode, I could tell that it wasn't like Tony Stark wasn't
Me too. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't.
Robert Downey Jr. wasn't playing Tony Stark. I'm so bad with names that when I actually even think of names, I'm like, it completely leaves my mind. And I know it's him, but it's just like it's gone.
Welcome to Moose Milk Podcast, where we basically just be like, that guy.
Yeah, well, like basically we could do a podcast and be like, remember this, and be like, no, I don't remember this, and then you'd be like, remember this, and I'd be like, no, I don't remember this. I like this voice acting best out of the 3 episodes, and I know that's saying a lot because like almost the first 2 episodes, almost every single actor came back and played the role. I thought the people that didn't play the actual role in the movies did a better job than actually like the main actual people. Like maybe that's because they're getting like animated voice actors to come in who actually know the genre of how to voice act properly with an animated thing, and you have to project more or you have to be animated more. Like maybe there's like a thing to that where they go, oh no, I know how to do this like properly.
That's clearly the case with Jeremy Renner, because it's like when I was like listening to Hawkeye, I was like, that's not Hawkeye. And then once I watched through the credits at the end, I'm like, it is Jeremy Renner. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like him at all.
No, I agree.
But Fury was like, spot on. Same with Coulson. Both were like perfect.
Yep. I don't know. I really liked the episode, and I really thought by far this was the most interesting what if. I liked it. I liked the theory. I liked the premise. I liked the voice acting. I thought this was the episode that I was like, oh, if the first two episodes were more like this, I would have been into the show.
I think that's the idea, though, is each one kind of presents something totally unique and different, right?
Right. Like I said, my biggest complaint was it's not long enough. I think it needed more development. It needed more time to breathe. It could have elaborated on a lot more things going on in the episode to make it fill out. And it would have been interesting if you could have saw, like, you know, the setup for each character's death and like how that was, you know, going on at the time rather than like the big reveal at the end of like what's happening. But yeah, I enjoyed this more than the first two episodes by far.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the part that I really like, but in turn, it's going to spoil kind of the villain, but I don't really care because we're doing spoilers.
No, we're going to spoil it. So, I mean, if you haven't watched it,
yeah, then
go home.
Let us ruin it for you. So, one of the things I quite liked about it was like, because you know how I always say, like, I really enjoy like the history of the universe and who was where, and oh, look at you getting fancy.
Yeah.
Adding that to your bubbly.
Yeah, that's it.
But like one of the things I thought was really cool was getting to see like Natasha like interact with Betty and like to me like that kind of stuff is so cool because it's like at that point in time, like, you know, there's not really a shit ton of mention or reference to the Hulk movie, so it's like,
well, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, to have that come in was like super cool, right? And it's like, oh man,
they're finally acting like the Hulk movie happened.
Yeah, it's sweet, man. I really, really like that.
And I'm hoping this means that we get Betty Ross back in some regard.
That would be awesome.
Like, think of that setup of, like, all of a sudden we get an actual... I mean, there's rumors that they're actually going to do a Hulk movie, but...
Nice. That'd be awesome, too. Hopefully we
yeah, like, that dynamic... I mean, obviously, Black Widow's no longer going to be a part of the MCU, but, like, maybe that's the cool part they could do as, like, Bruce Banner had this kind of side romance with Natasha, and it never really evolved into anything, but maybe like that was where he was going, is like, oh, I can't be with Betty. I'm going to be with Natasha because she's kind of a superhero and can understand like my issues kind of thing. And then now that Natasha is gone, it'd be cool if he went back to Betty and was like, my heart's always kind of been here with her, but like, you know, I just didn't want to fuck up that or whatever. And then maybe that sets up like World War Hulk. It's like Betty gets murdered or something like that. And just sets his anger off and then he flips out. And, you know.
Yep. That would be really cool. I'd be down for something like that for sure.
It'd be awesome. Bring back General Ross too. Like,
yeah. I mean, well, General Ross has been pretty active as of late, it seems. So
yeah, he has, but like, he should be a permanent character.
Well, in the in the comics, he becomes Red Hulk, so maybe we'll see something like that.
That'd be dope.
Would be very cool.
And then we should talk about the villain too.
Yeah, so that kind of goes into it too. So like the villain of this whole thing, who's killing off all of these heroes, ends up being Hank Pym, wearing a Yellow Jacket armor, which I thought was also very cool.
Very cool.
Because again, right, it does all that callback to what we've seen in the movies, and it's like, again, it's cool to see that this was all existing in this time frame of like Iron Man 2, Thor, you know what I mean?
Early
like
on.
Kind of, right around that exact same
Phase
time.
1.
So it's cool to see Hank Pym kind of in a role as a villain more than
like
hero,
he existed in that phase 1 without us knowing him. You know?
Yeah, like I love that. To me, that's so cool. There's so much. That's such a cool thing.
Yeah, that and
did you see that coming? Because I didn't see that coming.
I did when Natasha was in that dark scene. When Natasha died, that's when I clued into what happened. I was like, oh shit, it's Ant-Man.
Yeah,
and that's when it picked me up. And then I was thinking it was going to be like a evil Paul Rudd or something like that, but I didn't clue in that it was going to be Hank Pym necessarily. But I dug that. Like I dug that storyline of like, oh, like this is, you know, Hope's died, and
he goes off his rocker.
Yeah, Hank Pym's off his rocker, putting on the fucking suit and going like, fucking ham on these people. I was like, oh, this is sweet. What a cool idea.
Yeah, very cool. I like that.
I like the callback to Captain Marvel too.
Me too.
Like he has a pager. He has, the ability to call her in, because I think that was a lot of people's complaints during a lot of the, like the Battle of New York and everything like that, is like they think this is the end of the world, yet, Sam Jackson doesn't fucking use a pager to fucking call in.
But this time he does, because he needs it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Kind of reinforces the reason why they didn't, right? Because didn't she say, like, Earth had you, so it's like, you don't...
Right. Well, that, and like, I also wonder if they're ever going to allude to maybe, I can't think of her name right now, but the chick from Doctor Strange.
The ancient one?
What's that?
The ancient one?
Ancient one, yeah. If like maybe somehow Sam Jackson and her had like some kind of relationship early on where like she told him like, no, like the Avengers need to learn. This is like a learning process during the Battle of New York, and like if you call in Captain Marvel, X, Y, and Z will happen. And like I would love if they had like a flashback scene in one of these future movies where it was like,
yeah, that would be cool.
They know each other, or they have some type of relationship where like the reason he didn't call in Captain Marvel during these moments is because she told him like, no, this is going to mature your team. This is going to make them a team. This is going to cause them to come together, kind of thing. And if you call in Captain Marvel, like it's not going to happen, and this team will splinter and go off in their own ways. And
right. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that they could do. That's the coolest thing about this, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of it kind of being like almost like a crime kind of show, like a whodunit, like try to figure out who's the guilty one here. And it didn't play out how I anticipated. I didn't expect it to be Hank Pym, even when I knew it was some kind of Ant-Man tech. I thought it was Hope, because she kept saying Hope, and I was like, is it Hope? It seems weird. Maybe it's Janet?
I also, before I realized it could be Ant-Man, I thought it might be Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's
because of the invisibility thing.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's kind of like such a side character that I was like, this seems kind of like too much kind of thing. But and it was like kind of too early on where the timeline wouldn't really work or whatever. But I was like an invisible character, and I was kind of going through my mind, and then I was like, oh, maybe Ghost, because it's the character they introduced. But
Loki was really.
I also
good too, right?
do you know how long these are? How many episodes are in this season?
I think there's 8 or 9.
Okay. They haven't released like episode titles or anything, though, have they?
I believe they have. Yes.
Oh,
I think it's a leak, but I'm pretty sure they have.
I'm going to see if I can find it right now, because I'm very curious of what the next episode is.
Yeah, I think there's one. I can't remember I know that they have, because when I was on that Geek Week in Review podcast with Jacob's Toys and Super Sorrel, he read off. I believe he read off the list of what was still to come. So.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Like, we still have to see Gamora as Thanos. We still have to see. They're all gonna be back too. So I mean,
yeah,
there's that too, right?
Yeah. So Wikipedia doesn't have the list, so I don't know. I'm not sure if it's out there or not. I'm not going to search this entire episode.
Yeah.
I went to Wikipedia and it's not listed, so I don't know.
Maybe we'll find it for next week.
But I know Korg's in it too, right?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Taika Waititi said that he was in an episode at some point.
Perfect. So. Sounds great.
So I'm assuming at some point there's like a Thor-esque episode, or I don't know, or however you get Korg back in there.
Yeah. Maybe there's a Sakaar episode. I thought I heard someone refer to like Tony being on Sakaar instead of
That'd
Bruce.
Be cool.
Maybe.
I'd be into that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm really enjoying these, right? Like I love the animation style.
Yeah, I agree with that. The animation is awesome.
I do like the voice acting. I know some of it does seem a little bit stiff, but I think for the most part I like it. So then, like, this one was the best on that front. I think I still just like the story of T'Challa as Star-Lord better, because it was just wildly different to what we actually got. And it was interesting to see what putting a totally different character to Peter Quill in that role does, and like how it changes the story. Like, I just thought it was super interesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was definitely not for me, but I just think overall they've made Black Panther a very boring character, and he's not very interesting. He doesn't really have, you know, major flaws as a character, and therefore I think he's kind of just a boring overall character. So
yeah, but I don't know if I agree with that or not. I mean, like, it's hard for me to argue it because I haven't watched it in a bit, but like, you know, like, doesn't he have issues where, like, you know, he ends up not like agreeing with the way his dad does stuff or something like that? Like, I know there is some kind of like internal battle he has. It's just escaping me at the moment. But
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. But so this is the leaked episodes apparently, and spoilers if you don't want to know what's coming.
I'm gonna itch my back while you do that with this back scratcher.
Oh, that's erotic. So apparently next week's episode is Dark Doctor Strange.
Ooh. Oh yeah, we have to get zombie Captain America too.
That'd be cool.
We do somewhere.
Apparently episode 5. This is just like, obviously these aren't the official titles. These are just like the rumored
names,
theme of the episode or whatever. But according to this, episode 5 is Party Thor.
Right, I heard about
episode 6 is Tony Stark and Killmonger. Episode 7 is Marvel Zombies, and episode 8 is Tony Stark on Sakaar.
Cool.
And that's the end. So apparently it's 8 episodes.
So I wonder where...
Oh, no. Episode 9 is apparently Infinite Ultron.
Interesting. So I wonder where these characters all come back to. Like, if we're going to see T'Challa another 2 or 3 times, like, where does that fit?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it might be just very small, like,
maybe
Avenger-esque, like, group cameo where he's, like, in, like, a scene and then he's bounced out.
I kind of figured that we would get, like, some kind of a team up with, like, at least one of all the people from each story, right? Like, I kind of figured we would get, like, Captain Carter and T'Challa, Star-Lord, and...
Well, you assume that Black Panther's in the Killmonger episode with Tony Stark, right?
I mean, I would...
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
So, I'm assuming that's the other episode, and then, I don't know, like... You could definitely put him in as an Avenger at some point where they're taking down somebody and the Avengers team up to take that villain down or whatever, something like that. But I don't know. I assume like none of these, like they have their main episodes and then their cameos and they like 2 or 3 different episodes would be my assumption for.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, I mean, some of those episodes sound pretty cool. I definitely want to see Tony Stark on Sakaar. I think that'd be awesome. So
that'd be lots of fun.
Yeah.
Imagine what he would make there. He could make some crazy shit. Tony Stark made this in a cave with a box of scraps.
You should have been in that movie. That's perfect.
Thank you. I'll put a bald cap on.
Please do. That's all I've ever wanted. You've gone gray. The next step is gone bald. So
that's right. My head's too
big
for
a bald cap. But yeah, overall I liked it. Not great, not perfect, not an 8, closer to a 6 or 7, but I enjoyed it. What's that?
But at least you could get through it.
Yeah, it wasn't an episode I wanted to turn off halfway through. So.
Yeah, that's better than the last few weeks, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I hate being negative. I hate being the guy that's shitting on something people enjoy. So it's more fun to enjoy everything and like everything, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be, dishonest about my opinion on something.
Well, so. I mean, in fairness too, though, right? It's like, it's like it kind of like is designed to fail in the sense that you like don't really do cartoons. So it's like that on its own is like, yeah.
Yeah. It's not aimed at me.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they'd be very smart to have like an actual new animated series geared to kids that like aired on, it probably would be Disney Plus, but like even if it was like, hey, we're also licensing this out to,
Fox Kids on Saturday mornings or whatever's the new thing, Nickelodeon, I don't know, YTV, whatever exists today.
You just said like 20-year-old fucking.
I don't know what kids are watching today. I have no idea. Whatever the thing is now that kids watch for their fucking animated shows on Saturday mornings. Fucking, it'd be cool if Disney licensed out something that was like, hey, this is like the new Marvel Avengers show that, you know, is like more like our youth's, you know, Spiderman and X-Men and shit show that was like awesome.
Yeah. That would be great. It would be nice to see for sure.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. That's all I got to say about What If. I mean,
that is all you have to say about What If, son.
That's it. That's all I got.
Cool. Well, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I still think episode 2 is my winner, but this was a pretty close second. So I liked the way it went. I liked that Fury was kind of like an Avenger, which I thought was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Wasn't really 100% sold on that like flip that he did over Hank Pym. I thought that was pretty. It's like I don't think
it's Loki,
do that, but oh yeah, I guess was it.
Well, it's Loki doing his, like, fucking illusion and shit.
Yeah, I think that just multiplied him, though.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I assumed it was Loki doing a fucking illusion, but I guess it could be him. I don't know. What
about, we didn't even talk about that. What about that twist for the end? Do you think Loki's helping the Avengers, and then he decides instead he's going to just take over Earth?
Yeah, that's his goal for sure. I mean, he's always out for himself. I can't see him being anything more than, you know.
It's the return to the Loki we know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another way to get to that point where he takes over Earth, you know.
Too funny.
Yeah, for sure. But,
would have been better if it was Crocodile Loki, but I'll accept it as is.
Crocodile Loki as president.
Maybe we'll get Crocodile Loki and Party Thor.
That'd be great.
Him and Korg could be BFFs.
My assumption is that's where Korg will fit in.
Yeah, I guess that would make the most sense too. Party Thor, give me a break.
Or I guess it could be on this car episode too. But
is Chris Hemsworth going to reprise the role?
Did he in this episode?
I don't know if he did in this episode.
I don't think he did.
Because he only had like a couple little words here and there. He didn't really say much.
I'll try to look it up real quick, but I maybe that was the fourth character I saw that didn't. I don't know. Can they afford him?
I did hear that he was doing the voice, so maybe he didn't do it for this one, but he's going to do it for Party Thor, maybe?
I don't know. Let's see here. Lot of names.
No Chrissy H?
Chris Hemsworth as Party Thor, so he's definitely playing Party Thor.
Oh, that's good. Maybe they didn't do it this time just because they didn't want to spend the money or something for something so minor. Because I think all he did was grunt a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he had any real lines.
I don't think so either.
So yeah, I don't see a different credit for just whatever he was in this episode. So I'm assuming that he did whatever grunts they needed him to do, or just a voice actor of some sort. I'm not sure, but it looks like he did.
That's cool. I like Chris Hemsworth as Thor, so we get that. Yeah, Party Thor. That sounds good to me.
For sure.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's the end of the episode. I don't
know. All right.
What else we got? I mean,
I think that's all we got. Next week I'll have to talk a little small bit about Shang-Chi and tell you what I think.
We'll do your non-spoiler Shang-Chi impressions, and then the following week we'll do a spoiler cast so that it gives people time to see it.
Yeah.
It's a week. By far, our Black Widow spoiler cast is by far the most downloaded episode of...
Is it?
Oh, yeah, 2-1.
Crazy, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so... I don't know if people are just seeking that episode out because they see the name and they go, "Oh, Black Widow spoiler cast, all right?" But
maybe that's
the most downloaded episode on Spotify /
maybe they're like, we hated Black Widow too. Let's
Well, we didn't hate it.
I know we didn't hate it. We just gave it a hard time.
Yeah, it was fine. Oh yeah, Captain Marvel wasn't Brie Larson. That was the other one too.
That's probably for the better. Who really needs Brie Larson?
I don't know. I mean, she's fine, but it wasn't like she blew me away.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Brie Larson fan. She doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, William Hurt wasn't General Ross.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Black Widow. Tony Stark.
I thought the
Ross.
person who played Tony Stark was great.
Yeah.
The small bit he had was great.
General Ross, Captain Marvel, and I think that's it. So, anyway.
Cool.
So, yeah. Anyway, next week we'll talk about episode 4 and give Matt's impressions on Shang-Chi. Then, yeah, if you like this episode, remember to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, links in my profile if you want to get all that, or search Moose Milk Podcast or Moose Milk Media. I don't remember. It's late.
Moose Milk Media.
Cheers. Yeah, follow us on Instagram at Hustles by Matthew at Moose Milk Media. Our art is done by Janie Milne Art. I've had a lot of whiskey, so I'm starting to slur my words. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
We will. Peace out.
Farewell, friend.